Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Janavalabha Girivardhari. Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Rajajarandana. Yashodanandana Rajajarandana. Yamunativa Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Kunja Bihari. Janavalabha Girivardhari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Rajajarandana. Yashodanandana Rajajarandana. Yamunativa Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha. Jaya Radha Samasundara Samasundara. Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitya Go Hare Ba, Hare Ba, Hare Ba, Hare Ba. Nitya Go Hare Ba, Hare Ba, Hare Ba, Acharya Sutar Sudashishmani Divine Guest Abhachan Bhakti Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Pandacharya Divine Guest Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Vishnu Paramaham Acharya Sutar Sudashishmani Divine Guest Srila Bhakti Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Anand Guru Vaishnava Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Vidas Thakur Ki Jai Prince Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Sri Gaura Bhaktan Ki Jai Shri Shiva Hare Krishna Gopika Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Navadip Dham ki jai, Mayapur Dham ki jai, Ganga Mai ki jai, Yamuna Mai ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Tulsi Devi ki jai, Samaveta Bhaktavan ki jai, Kantarajman Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Nitai Gopavanande. All glory is to the simple devotees, all glory is to the simple devotees, all glory is to the simple devotees, all glory, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glory, Shri Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Ramayana, our journey with Sri Ram, day 3. So we covered day 1, we covered the Ramayana, mythology of fact. Day 2, lessons from extraordinary personalities. And today, day 3, Ravan's qualities of destruction. So let us begin with the invocation first. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I'd like to recap what we covered, and then we'll just address a few questions, and then we'll commence with today's lesson. So in the first day, we covered the fact that we all need role models. We all need personalities who are exemplary in their character, their behavior, their morals, their Krishna consciousness, that inspire us to follow them. And in day 2, we then covered some of these great personalities from the Ramayana. Now, today we're also going to cover a great, very important role model. But this role model is for us not to follow. We have role models that are exemplary who we follow, and role models that are exemplary that we don't follow. So today we're going to cover Ravana, who's a very, very wonderful role model who not to follow. He's showing the people, the personality, the traits that we should not follow. So we have summer, we have the great exalted personalities, and we have winter, Ravana, not to follow. And these personalities, they are roadmaps for us in terms of guiding us how to act and how not to act. Then we also shared different pastimes of different devotees, as well as we shared one pastime where Narad Muni went to encourage a aspiring devotee of Lord Ram to chant the holy names. And he encouraged this devotee to find some time in his day to chant the holy names of the Lord. And the devotee was chanting the names of Lord Ram in the bathroom. Now, initially the devotee gave an excuse that I don't have time. And everyone has 24 hours. So the perfection of life is how we use every moment, every second, every minute in the service of the Lord. We all have 24 hours. So we have to identify and prioritize our activities in such a way that we utilize time effectively. And we definitely have to make time for Krishna. If we don't make time for Krishna, then Krishna will also not make time for us. So it's very important that we make time for Krishna. Regarding the question of why Lord Ramachandra banished Mother Sita. Now, yes, we may, see the Ramayana or hear the Ramayana, and we may feel heart sore. Why did Lord Ramachandra, banish Sita? He was so hard-hearted. Now, it is very important to appreciate and understand that the Supreme Lord is independent and free to act and decide what He wants. So instead of questioning why did Lord Ramachandra act in a certain way, he's supposed to act the way I wanted him to act. Why didn't he do this? Rather, the question we should be asking is, what lesson can I learn from Lord Ram's actions? Why did the Lord send Mother Sita away? What was the lesson that the Lord wanted us to imbibe? That is the proper and appropriate question. And we mentioned that one of the most important lessons why the Lord did this, because understand, everyone is hearing the Ramayana, or if there's videos made, they're watching the Ramayana, and then this situation is transpires, and the Lord actually banishes Mother Sita. No doubt people will be in turmoil. People's emotion will be stirred up. They'll be very upset. They'll be questioning. And when we have questions, we need to present those questions to the spiritual master, to the bona fide spiritual master who's representing the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the line of disciplic succession, so that he can reveal the truth to us and guide us. So what was the lesson? The lesson was that the goal of life is to develop our loving relationship with Krishna. And there are two loving relationships, two aspects of these loving relationships. Serving the Lord together, union, and serving the Lord in separation. And of the two, many people, and it's not bad, it's auspicious, it's wonderful, they want to serve the Lord together with the Lord, they want to serve. That is service, loving service in union. But of the two, the Lord is showing and revealing to us through Mother Sita, who's one of the exalted devotees of the Lord, that service in separation is more glorious. It's higher. And externally, it seems that Mother Sita went through great turmoil, great suffering, but actually internally, her love for Lord Ramachandra just increased more and more, and it deepened. So this is the lesson that the Lord wanted to reveal through this amazing incident. Now, another aspect, we generally don't see all the reasons. We generally don't know all the reasons. When the Lord does something in His pastimes, He's just not fulfilling one reason. There are many reasons, and we don't know all the reasons. So, for example, due to a curse that Narad Muni gave the Lord, also the curse that Tulsi Devi gave the Lord, to fulfill and honor these two curses, both by Narad Muni and by Tulsi Devi, the Lord, because the curse was that the Lord would also have to experience separation from his wife Mother Sita and feel that pain. So because of that curse, and to honor the devotees, Narad and Tulsi, Mother Tulsi, the Lord had to go through this experience and pastime. Then another question that was asked was in relation to Valmiki Ramayana and Ramcharitramanas, Tulsidasa's Ramayana. So it is described that Ramayana was written by sage Valmiki in Tetra Yuga, in the Sanskrit language. And sage Valmiki was a contemporary of Lord Ram. That means he appeared at the same time when Lord Ramachandra was present on the planet. Whereas Ramcharitramanas was written by a great Avadi poet, Goswami Tulsidas, in Kali Yuga, in the Awadhi language. It's like a Hindi type of Hindi type of language. And Tulsidas lived in the 15th century AD, 1511 to 1623. So Tulsidas was a great devotee of Lord Ram. He took Valmiki's Ramayana and he presented it in a very simple language for the people to understand, because people in Kali Yuga, for them to know Sanskrit and speak in Sanskrit is very difficult. Just like Srila Prabhupada did this world one of the greatest favors by taking the Vedic scriptures. Consider Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita, all these scriptures. Srila Prabhupada took that and gave us these scriptures in English. That is the greatest benediction to humanity at large, and we have to take advantage of these scriptures. Otherwise we all have to learn Sanskrit, Bengali, to actually get access to this great wisdom, but we can actually read now in English. So now we're going to cover this amazing role model, Ravana. He was a powerful personality. He was the son of Vishrava, a Brahmana, and he was born in a very exalted family, and he was the grandson of Brahma. He was a very learned Pandit. He was a very learned scholar. It wasn't like Ravan was a demon in a sense of gross features, had horns, sharp teeth coming out of his mouth. No, he was extremely handsome, he was extremely intelligent, he was extremely learned, and he was born in a very, very auspicious, very great lineage. He performed great austerities, severe austerities. He performed austerities for 1,000 years, and he received some unique boons. One of the boons that he received, he was asking Lord Brahma, who he pleased through his austerities, the boon that he will not be killed by the demigods, by the yakshasas. He was giving a whole list of the personalities that he would not be killed by. And in his list, he gave many people personalities, and he left two categories out. One was men and monkeys. He did not feel that men and monkeys are actually powerful enough to kill him, so he really didn't put that into his list. And this is why Lord Ramachandra appeared in a human form as man, and used monkeys as his army to kill Ravana. Ravana was extremely wealthy. In fact, he was the most wealthiest. He practically was in control of the universe. He controlled the demigods. He controlled this planet. He was a very powerful personality. And the demigods, the devatas, they feared him. It's explained as soon as when Ravana would raise his eyebrows, the demigods would fear. He was extremely strong. At one time, he even tried to lift Kailash, and he was able to lift Kailash. And then Lord Shiva taught him a lesson as well by pressing his foot on the mount of Kailash and basically the mountain caught hold of or squashed Ravana's hand, and he learned his lesson. He had 10 heads, and this is actually true that he had 10 heads. He was very powerful. 10 heads meant he was very intelligent and extremely powerful. He had a hidden life force. He had hidden his life force so that it wasn't in a normal place like all living entities. He was a devout follower of Lord Shiva, a great conqueror. He had many wives. He was extremely handsome, possessed deadly weapons. He knew all the Vedic weapons. He had the ability to change his form whenever he wanted. He possessed all the mystic powers. He had many followers and he had a huge army. So Ravana was no doubt an extraordinary, very powerful personality. But Ravana was a demon. And what makes him a demon? Now it's interesting, Ravana in his previous life was a devotee. He and Kumbhakarna were Jai and Vijay. So they were great devotees of the Lord. And they were given two options. Either to take birth 7 times as devotees or 3 times as demons. And they wanted to come back to the spiritual world very quickly. So they told the Lord, my Lord, we'll take the birth of demons 3 times. And this will give you pleasure in terms of fighting, because the Lord wanted to fight, the quality of chivalry. And very quickly we'll return. So really Ravana was one of the gatekeepers. But coming into this material world and being influenced by the modes of material nature, Ravana became a demon. So what makes him a demon? He did not accept the Supreme Lord as the supreme enjoyer, the supreme controller, and the Supreme Lord as the friend. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suridam sarvabhutanam gnatvamam shantimrichati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. So we find that here the Supreme Lord is Bhoktaram. He is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is Suridam. He is the supreme, the ultimate beneficiary of all our sacrifice austerities. He is the owner, the proprietor of all the planets. He is the benefactor. So we all meant to accept the position of the Supreme Lord. And Ravana, he was thinking, I am Bhoktaram. All sacrifices and austerities are meant for me. I am Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. All planets belong to me. I am the benefactor of all living entities. So this was Ravana's attitude, consciousness. He wanted to take the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because he denied the position of Krishna and wanted to take the position of the Lord, he was classified as a demon. You got Sura and Asura. Sura means one who's obedient to the Supreme Lord and his instructions, and Asura means one who's disobedient to the orders of Krishna. Now Ravana, he is representing all demons. The very word Ravana means one who causes crying for others. So let's consider, in our life, have we acted in certain ways? Have we said certain things? Have we interacted with people or even other living entities and made them cry? If we have made anyone cry, then either due to our words, we may have been critical, we may have been fault-finding, we may have said the wrong things, and we made them cry, then that means this quality of Ravana, this personality of Ravana also existed in us. We were representatives of Ravana. So Ravana continuously caused trouble for others. But when his sinful activities culminated in giving trouble to Sita Devi, he was killed by Lord Ramachandra. Sins accumulate, and as the sins accumulate and it comes to a tipping point, then there has to be some catastrophic reaction. Just like if I take sugar, I eat sugar, I eat different forms of sugar, more and more and more. Initially, if I eat sugar, nothing apparently seems like an issue. But if I keep eating more and more sugar, eventually the sugar level in my body becomes so much that the body cannot contain that sugar. And I may start getting certain diseases, but if I start consuming so much sugar that the body will start telling me I had enough, and you'll start getting boils that come out from your skin, from your body. All boils will start showing up in your body. That's the sign that your blood has become so contaminated with that sugar, and it's showing up in the forms of boils. So similarly, individually as personalities, we may go through that. Ravana had to go through that. This planet is going through that. In so many ways, if we perform sinful activities, like Ravana, we will have to suffer the consequences. Now Ravana, one day, Narad Muni was passing by and he saw Narad Muni. And immediately he called Narad Muni, "Hey you, come here." This is how he actually called Narad Muni. And Narad Muni said, "Me?" Said, "Yes, you, come here." So Narad Muni came, and Ravana said, "Don't you know who I am?" And Narad Muni said, "Who are you?" He says, "I am Trilokeshwar. I am the proprietor of the three worlds." And Narad Muni said, "Oh, really? Interesting." And Ravana asked Narad Muni, "Can you teach me how to chant Om?" And Narad Muni said, "No." Said, "Don't you know who I am? If you don't teach me, I will kill you." And Narad Muni said, "Try." So immediately Ravana took out his sword. He has a very special sword called Chandraharsha. This sword, Ravana just has to tell the sword, "Go kill Narad." And this sword on its own will actually go to the target, no matter where the person is. The person could be, could be hiding, but as soon as if he tells the sword, "Go kill this person," this sword would track this person, kill the person, and come back. So it was a very interesting, very powerful sword. So Ravana released the sword and told the sword to go kill Narad. The sword went to attack Narad Muni, and the sword came, pierced Narad Muni, and returned, and nothing happened to Narad Muni. Ravana was surprised. Immediately he started to attack Narad Muni with all his different weapons, and he released so many weapons, and Narad Muni caught all the different weapons, and nothing happened to Narad Muni. Ravana was completely surprised and shocked that none of his weapons actually did anything to Narad Muni. Narad Muni caught all the weapons and he said, "Don't lose these weapons. Here, you may need them." And he shot them back to Ravana. Ravana was taken aback. Immediately Ravana could understand that he was not able to kill Narad Muni. So he changed his tune. This is called demonic diplomacy. And Ravana said, "Oh, Narad Muni, oh great sage, please come. Please sit down." He started offering obeisances, touching his feet. "I'm so blessed to receive your darshan. How fortunate. Please tell me, how come my weapons couldn't do anything to you?" And Narad Muni said, "Because I am eternal." And Ravana said, "Please tell me, please teach me how I can also be eternal." And Narad Muni said, "No, I'm not going to teach you." No, please, I beg you, please teach me how to be eternal." And Narad Muni said, "You simply have to surrender to Vishnu and become his devotee." As soon as Ravana heard the name Vishnu, he became angry. "You dare call Vishnu in my court? He's my enemy. How can you call the name of Vishnu?" And Narad Muni could understand Ravana's consciousness, and then he left. So here we see Ravana, he did not accept Vishnu as the supreme. He saw Vishnu as his enemy. And before Narad Muni left, Narad Muni on his way out turned to Ravana and said, "The weapons that you have shot me will not go in vain. And the reaction of you shooting me attacking me. For that reaction, I curse you. That one day a monkey will come and he'll spit on your face. And when that monkey spits on your face, then you should know you got 10 days to live. So that was the curse of Narada. Now Ravan is also within us. The good and evil is within us. It's explained that in the previous ages, the good and the good and evil were on different planets. Then the good and evil were on the same planet but in different families. Then the good and evil in this age is in the same person. Just like we find Prahlad Maharaj and his father Hiranyakashipu, they were in the same family, but Prahlad Maharaj was the embodiment of goodness. He had no inauspiciousness, no evil, and his father was the embodiment of evil, but they were in the same family. In Kali Yuga, it's explained that the good and the evil, the auspicious and the inauspicious, is within the same person. So within us, we have the traits of goodness, of auspiciousness, like the qualities we mentioned yesterday of the great personalities in Ramayana, and we also have the tendencies of Ravana in us. So we have to be very careful to try to destroy the demonic qualities of Ravana and amplify, increase the qualities of the exalted devotees of Ramayana. The 3 gates to hell, Kama, Krodha, Tata, Lobhas, in Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, Krishna describes there are 3 gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. So Ravana was the embodiment of these 3 gates: Kam, Krodh, and Lobh. Lust, anger, and greed. So what is lust? Lust is actually love in its perfect form in the spiritual world. But when it's coming into this world, it's tainted with the modes of passion, and it becomes a powerful destructive force. And lust can never be satiated. Just like love can never be satiated, lust can never be satiated. Lust is like a burning fire. The more you try to satisfy your senses, which is lust. Lust means the activities, the desire to please my senses. Love for the Supreme, love prema, means to satisfy the Supreme Lord's senses, to satisfy Lord Ramachandra's senses. So this is the difference. When you do any activity for the pleasure of Krishna, for the pleasure of Lord Ramachandra, then that is love. When you do any activity for your sense gratification, that is called lust. Now, lust cannot be externally visible. If you see someone, it's very difficult to see, that he's lusty. Because it's an inner consciousness. It's the inner desire to enjoy and exploit the resources in this material world. Just like someone may be gazing at the opposite gender to exploit and to enjoy. But if he doesn't get that object of lust for his pleasure, then that lust becomes externally manifested in the form of anger. Therefore, another name for anger is kamanuja. Kama means lust. You'll see the Sanskrit word here, kama. And kamanuja, like we said yesterday, anuja, means younger brother. So, kamanuja is anger. And when lust is not satisfied, it comes out as anger. So really anger is lust that's not satisfied. And it's also a very destructive force. And greed. Greed, the propensity to have more and more and more. This is what lust and anger drives one to. Because it's not satiated, because it burns like fire. The more you put ghee in fire, the more the fire blazes. Similarly, the more you try to satisfy lust, to try to appease it, the more it becomes enraged. So greed basically devours one to constantly become lusty and angry. And here Krishna is saying every sane man should give up these, because they lead to the degradation of the soul. So as you mentioned, Ravana was really the personification of these three gates. He was extremely lusty, always wanted to satisfy his senses in every way. He was very quickly angered because his lust would not be satiated, and he was greedy to do whatever it took to fulfill his senses. Now consider that the most powerful, these are considered to be the most powerful and deadly forces. And Ravana, he practically, to fulfill them, he showed his power. He destroyed anyone, he killed anyone that did not satisfy his desires. He exterminated the power that would destroy him. Meaning that Ravana wanted to kill anyone, any powerful force, any person that disobeyed him. Just like Lord Ramachandra, he wanted to kill Lord Ram. But lust actually reverses in its attack. So for example, if you try to satisfy your senses, you're really destroying yourself. Similarly, Ravana, he did not understand that because he was on the wrong path, he was going on this path of hell, it was really destroying him. His powers was self-destructing. He was actually destroying himself. Ravana received all the powers through controlling his senses. Therefore, we find that controlling senses separate from pleasing Krishna is also not conducive. Ravana received all these powers through his austerities, thousands and thousands of years of austerities. And Ravana had everything, even to the power of converting salt water to pure water. He was so powerful that he was able to take salt, ocean water, which is salty, and convert that simply by chanting mantras. He was able to convert that salt water into pure water. This is how powerful Ravana was. If we had that ability, we would have no shortage of water. And his sister one day came to take revenge. So Ravana was in his palace, and we know that Suparnarka, she also had, because she was born in the same family, she was also demonic. She also wanted to satisfy her own senses, and she found Lord Ram in the forest, and she wanted to enjoy Lord Ram. Unfortunately, Lord Ram, as we mentioned yesterday, he followed the vow of Ekapatni Vat. He took one wife. So when Suparnarka came and proposed, he said, "No, I'm already married. There's my wife." And Suparnarka was very, envious of Sita Devi. She was beautiful, and therefore Suparnarka became very envious. And Lord Ramachandra said, "But my younger brother, he's not married, so maybe you should go propose to him." And Suparnarka, she saw, well, Lord Ramachandra is not going to budge, so okay, let me go to Lakshman. So then she goes to Lakshman, but Lakshman, he said, "No, I'm the servant of Sita, and wherever Sita goes, I will eternally be serving her lotus feet." So Suparnarka became very angry and upset. You can see here her lust was not satisfied, and when her lust was not satisfied, she became angry. And when one becomes angry, we will hear from Bhagavad Gita what happens. But Suparnarka immediately wanted to attack Sita. Lakshman took up his knife and sliced the nose. And then she came with a disfigured nose to Ravan. And immediately she wanted Ravan to take revenge. And she knew that if she has to simply tell Ravan about the qualities of Sita, Ravan would fall prey to lust, and he would then go and take revenge. Now in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 2, text 63, Krishna presents two very, very important verses that reveals the destruction, the path of destruction. Krishna says, Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangasteshu bhajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho bijayate. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. And from such attachment, lust develops. And from lust, anger arises. Then, krodad bhavati sammoha sammohat shrimiti vibramaha smriti brahmsad buddhi naso buddhi nasad pranashyati. From anger, complete delusion arises. And from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. So, it starts off, Dhyayato vishayan pumsa, while contemplating the objects of senses. This is how it all starts. The senses, they're all infused with lust. So, as soon as you see a sense object, your eyes are plagued with lust, and your eyes would want to enjoy those objects. So your eyes fall on the sense object, and then your mind is triggered. Oh, it's a very nice object to enjoy. Just like Suparnarka, she started describing the qualities of the beautiful qualities and traits of Sita Devi. She told Ravana, I actually went there because Sita Devi is so beautiful. She has exquisite features, and I knew she's fit for you. And as she was narrating the qualities of Sita Devi, the beauty of Sita, immediately just by contemplating on the beautiful description, he became attached. So we also, when we see objects of sense gratification and we contemplate, then from that contemplation, constant contemplation, repeated contemplation, we become attached. As soon as we become attached, now it's like an anchor, now it's like a bait, and lust develops. And when lust develops, it needs to be satisfied. And when that lust is not satisfied, you become angry. And when you become angry, now delusion arises, bewilderment of memory. You lose your memory, you lose your intelligence, and then you cannot decipher what is good, what is bad. You start saying the wrong things, you start acting in the wrong way, and then you basically fall down. So this is how one gets trapped. And I normally give an example. It's like a thread. When this contemplation starts, it's like a thin thread, a cotton thread. And you think again, you contemplate again, and you get another thread. And you contemplate again, and you get another thread. So, if one or two threads are there, it's easy to, break those threads. Very simply, you can just break a cotton thread, not a problem. But multiple threads, if you twist them, they become a string. And multiple strings, when you keep contemplating and desire to satisfy the lust, then they become a rope. And now you take that rope and you put it around your neck and you hang yourself. So we have to be very careful. How does it start? Contemplation. Before that contemplation strengthens, we should check that contemplation with the proper intelligence, buddhi yoga. With buddhi yoga, with proper Krishna conscious intelligence, we have to understand this is incorrect, this is not good, this is destructive. I have to stop. I shouldn't enjoy the property of the Supreme Lord. Not that we cannot enjoy, but we have to enjoy in relation to Krishna. Just like pleasing our senses. So take the same example. We want to see beautiful objects. So we should only see the beautiful object of the deity. We should see the beautiful form of the deity. This is how we should satisfy our eyes. We should be able to satisfy our eyes by seeing the beautiful pictures of Krishna, the beautiful form of the pure devotee, etc. Anything related to Krishna. We want to satisfy our tongue, we should take Krishna Prasad. So in this way, this is how we should engage our senses in the service of Krishna and satisfy them in this way. So Ravana, when he heard Suparnarka describing the beauty of Sita Devi, he became so lusty to get Sita that he decided, yes, I need to go and get Sita. And he left for Chitrakoot. And first he went to Marichi. And when he came to Marichi, he asked Marichi, I want a favor. I want you to disguise yourself as a golden deer, and this is the plan. And Marichi said, no way. You want to go and capture Sita? Don't you know who Lord Ramachandra is? And Ravana became very upset. How can you say Lord? Marichi said, you don't know who Lord Ramachandra is. I know. I personally encountered him. And I've seen he's very powerful. He killed all the 14,000 soldiers. So he single-handedly, he is extremely powerful. My advice is, don't even think of doing this. You have your kingdom, you got a beautiful wife, many wives in fact, and please go home, be satisfied, be happy. Otherwise, you will destroy everything you have. And Ravana was not interested in hearing any advice. He told Marichi, you either fulfill my desire or be ready to be killed with my sword. And Marichi, he was thinking, well, I'm going to die anyway. Might as well die in the hands of Lord Ramachandra. That will be more auspicious. So he decided, okay, I will go. So he goes to Chitrakoot, disguise himself as a golden deer, and Sita Devi sees the deer. She tells Lord Ram, please go and get the deer. Lord Ram goes, chases the deer, and then Ravana comes disguised as a Brahmana, and he captures Sita. He captures Sita, he brings Sita to Lanka. We discussed how yesterday Jatayu tried to protect Mother Sita. Unfortunately, he was killed in that battle, and Ravana returns to Lanka. And Ravana, he came to Lanka, but he could not, he could not enjoy Sita Devi. He captured Sita, and he put Sita in the Ashok Gardens because he was cursed by Vedavati. Vedavati was also a very chaste woman, and one day when Ravana was traveling, he saw Vedavati, and she was extremely beautiful, and he caught hold of her hair, trying to exploit her. And Vedavati, with her powerful austerity, she was able to cut her hair, and she then cursed Ravana that because of you trying to exploit me, I curse you, that I will appear to kill you, and anytime you try to attack a woman against her will, or try to enjoy a woman against her desire, against her will, you will be burnt. So because of that curse, Ravana never tried to force himself onto Sita Devi, because he knew that as soon as if he did that, he would be burnt. We also know that Mother Sita, she also protected herself. She took a blade of grass and she said, if I am chased to Lord Ram, then this grass will act as a weapon. So in different ways she was protected. But ultimately it was a chastity that protected her from Ravana. Now when Hanuman was trying to now rescue Sita and discover where Sita was and rescue, we know Hanuman came to Lanka. It's interesting, when Hanuman came to Lanka, he was trying to find where Sita was. So he's traveling throughout Lanka. And as he's traveling throughout Lanka, he's noticing that all over, there's the name of Lord Ram here. He was surprised. Why is Ram written all over? Looks like Ravana is a devotee of Lord Ram, but how could he? No, he couldn't be a devotee of Lord Ram. How did he, how can he capture Sita? So Hanuman was a little confused. And the story behind this, the pastime behind this is there's that we know Vibhishan was a great devotee of Lord Ram. And one day, Vibhishan is the younger brother of Ravana. So one day Ravana, he came into the palace of Vibhishan, into the court, the house of Vibhishan. And when he came, he saw Vibhishan had written the names of Lord Ram on his walls. And Ravana became very upset that how can you put the enemy, the name of the enemy on your wall? You are part of our family. How can you do this? You are a traitor. And Vibhishan said, no, my dear brother, this is Rama. Ra meaning you, Ravana, and Ma meaning Mandotari, your wife. And Ravana was so happy. Oh yes, wonderful. You should write Rama all over Lanka, glorifying me and Mandotari. Wonderful. So this is how Vibhishan was so expert in preaching the glories of Lord Ram, that Lord Ram's name was all over Lanka. So eventually Ravana, Hanuman meets Vibhishan, and he's very happy to understand that Vibhishan is a great devotee. But Hanuman is captured, and he's brought to the court. And he preaches to Ravana. It's a long pastime, we won't go into that, but he preaches to Ravana. He advises Ravana that Ravana, you should return Sita back to Lord Ram, otherwise you will be destroyed. And Ravana, because he was bewildered by lust, we discussed Lord Krishna's instruction Bhagavad Gita, that when your intelligence is lost, then you become totally bewildered. Ravan's intelligence was lost, so therefore no instructions would really make a difference in his life. He did not heed any instruction. This is what lust does to one. Then Vibhishan also tried to protect Lord Hanuman, and also instructed Ravana. And we know what happened to Vibhishan also. So Hanuman instructed Ravana, Vibhishan instructed Ravana, even Mandotari instructed Ravana, please return Sita Devi back. You have everything. Why do you want to do this? Don't you know how destructive Sita's presence will be? She is a chaste woman, because Mandotari herself was the emblem of chastity. So she knew the power of chastity. But Ravana was not interested in hearing any instructions. When one becomes influenced by lust and anger, loses his intelligence, they do not heed good advice. So Ravan could not accept any advice. And it's like wearing, lust means wearing red glasses. If I wear red tainted glasses, all I see is red. And even if somebody comes and tells me, hey, here's a white color, here's a green color. Nope. Every color that I see is red. Different tints of red, but everything is red. So in my consciousness, nope, there is no other color. Everything is red. So in the eyes, the lusty eyes and consciousness of Ravana, no advice was appropriate. In fact, he was seeing every advice as inimical, as they have been my enemies. They're stopping me from fulfilling my desires. So Ram became, so actually Lord Ram became his enemy because of lust. Now, during this situation, Lord Ram also sent a messenger. See, the Lord never attacks. Before he attacks, before he kills anyone, he always gives them an opportunity. Even with Ravana, the Lord did not just want to attack and kill Ravana. No, he wanted to give him an opportunity. The Lord always gives every living entity the opportunity to improve. In our case, the Lord constantly gives us opportunities to improve by coming himself, performing these pastimes, by sending his representatives, the pure devotees of the Lord, then through scripture. In so many ways, the Lord keeps encouraging us, to give us the opportunity to correct ourselves. So the Lord also gave Ravana the opportunity by sending Angad. And when Angad came into the courtyard, then Ravana said to Angad, "Why are these monkeys coming and talking like ministers to me? You had better put your tail between your legs and run away from here before I kill you." Angad said, "Oh, you are going to kill me? You can kill me later." He lifted his leg and put it in front of Ravana. "But now you please move my foot. Then we can think of scheming and murdering and killing." So Angad, he put his foot down in the courtyard, in the palace courtyard, and he told Ravana, "You try to move my foot. If you can move my foot," Angad told him, "I will accept defeat on behalf of Ram." This was how much faith Angad had. And if you cannot move my foot, then I will accept that you are defeated. And Ravana told all his ministers, because Ravana thought, anyone can move your foot. Okay, I'll give my ministers the opportunity. So immediately the ministers, one by one, tried, and they could not move. They could not even move it an inch. Indrajit, who practically conquered Indra, he came and he tried, and he could not move it an inch. And then Ravan himself came. Ravan bent down, and he was completely helpless because he could not move it. Ravana sat down and said, "Where do you get your strength from?" Angad said, "The same old question. Where do you get your strength from? Where is anyone getting their strength from? The source of strength is Rama, and simply by chanting his name, I am holding my breath. That is why you are not able to move my toe. I am the smallest monkey in the army. There are bigger monkeys than me, and with all of us is your brother Vibhishan, who is helping. Lakshman is also there, and above him is the Supreme Lord Ramachandra. Use your intelligence, Ravan, and give back Sita." So even showing the power of Lord Ram, we see how much faith Angad had in the power, in the name of Lord Ram, that he was able to put his foot down in the name of Lord Ram, and even the most powerful Ravana could not move. This is great firm faith, implicit faith in the Lord and his holy name. And even with demonstration of the power, still we can see the power of lust over one's intelligence, that Ravan could not heed that advice. So the battle was settled, and during the battle so many of the family members were killed. It was a huge battle. One by one, the brothers, the family members, they were all killed, the sons, and finally even Kumbhakarna was awoken, and he himself went. But before he went, Kumbhakarna also was very intelligent. He knew who Lord Ram was. So he went to advise his brother. But again, his brother was not interested. Ravan was not interested. And Kumbhakarna, he said, "No, but I will fight. I will fight." So he went and he fought, and he was also killed. So practically everyone was destroyed. Finally, the time came, the battle between Ravana and Lord Ramachandra. This was a very, very, very extraordinary battle. The battle between righteousness, irreligion, between divine and the demonic powers. And it's described that when Lord Ramachandra and Ravana was in front of each other, everyone stopped fighting. The demigods, for them this was a sight to behold. Two most very powerful forces are now coming face to face. So everybody wanted to see the outcome, and it was a ferocious battle. Millions of arrows were shot by Ravana, counteracted by Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra shot millions of arrows, were counteracted by Ravana. They used all different weapons trying to attack each other, and it was like no one was winning. In fact, Lord Ramachandra, he started chopping off Ravan's head one by one, and he would shoot an arrow, chop Ravan's head, and the head would come up and manifest again. And Lord Ramachandra was wondering that I'm shooting my arrows, but nothing's happening to Ravana. I'm piercing his body, I'm chopping his arms, I'm chopping his head, and his limbs are coming again. What's going on? So this is very instructive. This situation is very instructive. Lord Ramachandra is trying to kill the embodiment, the personification, the representative of lust. And you cannot destroy lust just with any weapons. That means no power, no process, no religious ritual, no religious ceremonies can destroy the force, the desire of lust. You may use different processes of atonement to negate the reactions of lust. But lust itself, the desire to enjoy separately from Krishna, that can never be destroyed by any process in the Vedas. And this is how the Lord was demonstrating that with all his weapons, Ravana could not be destroyed. There had to be a separate process that the Lord wanted to reveal. And what is that process? Lord Ram was attacking Ravan but not be killed. And he turns to Vibhishan. He looks at Vibhishan. So here's the first sign of how we can also overcome lust. You need the mercy of a devotee, of a sincere, faithful devotee. When a sincere, faithful devotee comes in your life, you should understand that you have a solution to all the problems of life. So the Lord looked at Vibhishan, and Vibhishan came to the Lord and said, "My Lord, you will not be able to kill Ravana this way." Why? Because Ravana, he has hid his life force in deep within his heart in the form of immortal nectar. And only by drying up that nectar will you be able to destroy Ravana. Ravana had actually hid his life force in different places, and Vibhishan had instructed the Lord how to actually attack Ravana. So here we find, firstly, we need the mercy of the devotee. Then we need the guidance and instructions of the devotee of how to destroy lust. And we need the weapon. Vibhishan told Lord Ram that use the weapon that Agastya Muni gave you. When the Lord was going through the different forests, Lord Ram came to Agastya Muni's hermitage, and he served Agastya Muni very nicely. And Agastya Muni was very pleased and gave Lord Ramachandra special weapons. And he told him that these weapons will come in handy. So Vibhishan told Lord Ram how to attack strategically, how to attack Ravana, in which places, how and what weapons he should use, and then he'll be successful. So we need the mercy of the devotee, Vibhishan. We need the guidance through Vibhishan. We need the spiritual master's mercy, Agastya Muni, and we need the weapons. And in this age, the weapon that we have been given, the Yuga Avatar, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to this world to give the weapon. And that weapon is Harinam Sankirtan, congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So by chanting the holy names of the Lord, this is the weapon in this age of Kali Yuga. And this weapon is so powerful. This weapon of the holy name will not destroy the living entity. It will destroy the demonic tendencies in our heart. So the Lord then, taking the advice of Vibhishan, invokes the weapon that Agastya Muni gave him and kills Ravana. So three powerful things. We need the mercy of the devotee, association of the devotees are very important, and ultimately chanting the holy names of the Lord. These three are very, very powerful aspects in spiritual life that can really help us progress, rise above these demonic tendencies that Ravana represented. Ravana was so demonic. He wanted to, he practically killed, tortured all the sages, anyone that was chanting the names of Vishnu, praying to anyone else besides him. He would massacre them, he would kill them. He was merciless. And he was now killed by Lord Ramachandra. Now what is interesting, we mentioned yesterday that Ravana went through all this. He captured Sita, brought her to Lanka. They went through this huge battle, sacrificed so much, and at the end he really did not take the real Sita. So this is our situation, and we mentioned about Vedavati. This is our situation, that in this world we endeavor for so many things. We go through life acquiring so many things, doing so many things, establishing relationships, and at the end, what is the outcome? Just as Ravana went through so much endeavor to enjoy, and ultimately came and had false Sita. Similarly, in this world we endeavor for so many things with the intention to enjoy, but ultimately it is all temporary. We have to understand the reality of this world is that it is temporary. This temporary existence is the reality of this world. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna describes this world to be Dukkalayam Ashashwatam. It is full of misery, and Ashashwatam, it is temporary. This is the nature of this world. Now, if you look at this cat looking into this mirror, the cat, because of false ego, because of a false identity, is looking into this mirror and thinking, oh, I'm a lion. This false identity, this false perspective of the cat is very dangerous. Not only is the cat thinking that it's the cat, but it's thinking it's more than a cat. It's a big cat. It's a lion. It's got an inflated false ego. If the cat looked in the mirror and saw a cat, that would be false ego. The cat is looking in the mirror and seeing a lion, that is called inflated false ego. This is what lust would do. And because the cat is thinking, I'm the lion, therefore I'm the king of the jungle, and therefore I can enjoy and I can rule over anyone. So if this cat now goes to the neighbor's dog, the cat thinking it's a lion is going to roar at the dog, and what will be the outcome? The cat will meet its death. So this is the reality. If you look in the mirror, if you looked in the mirror today, what did you see? If you say, oh, that's me, then this is false ego. Because it's not you. You did not see yourself in the mirror. What you did see was the vehicle, the temporary house that you have, the temporary dress that you have. Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Vasamsi jarnani yatha vihaya navani grinati naroparani tata sharirani vihajirnani anyani samyanti navani dehi. That just as one puts on garments and then discards that old garments, similarly the soul puts on new garments, giving up old ones. So we have this garment, this material body. It's a vehicle, it's a house, it's in which you are living in. And as soon as you misidentify with this garment and think you are this vehicle, therefore I need to enjoy through this body, one will fall prey and one will experience suffering. So we have to rise above this. Now in Bhagavad Gita, in a lecture, Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada makes this point. You become an excuse me. You become an associate of Narayan, Krishna, Vishnu. Then you can remember your past lives. Remember your past lives, just like you can remember your dreams. I am dreaming like that. So this is all dream. This life at present moment, because this body is false. So whatever we are acting, it is just like a dream. So like in a dream at night, we also work. So this is gross dream and this is subtle dream. But real life is spiritual life. But we foolish people, we are taking this life as permanent life, permanent settlement. It is not permanent settlement. So here Prabhupada is talking about two dreams. One is the gross dream and one is the subtle dream. Subtle dream is when we take rest in the evening. We then have a subtle dream. We go to different places in our subtle body and we dream. And I may be dreaming that I'm the king when I'm sleeping. And when I wake up, I immediately recognize, oh, that was a dream. I wasn't the king. I'm actually this person, right? But while we are awake, we also dreaming. It's called a gross dream. Right now, we all dreaming. I'm human. I'm male. I'm female. I'm Indian. I'm black. I'm white. The dog is thinking I'm a dog. Every species is thinking. This is a gross dream. Because actually nobody is this body. Everyone is a spiritual being. So really the soul is sleeping. He's spiritually asleep. And he needs to revive himself. And how does one revive oneself to real life, to a healthy life? Right now we're all spiritually sick due to lust, due to this false identification to enjoy separately from Krishna. And the most powerful way to do this is described in Padma Puran. In Padma Puran, Krishna says, Mad Bhakta Yatra Gayanti Tatastishtami Ma Narada. O Narada, I am present wherever my devotees are chanting. And wherever the Lord is, that is the spiritual kingdom of Ayodhya. That is the spiritual world. On the battlefield, Lord Ramachandra was present. And because Lord Ram was present, then there was victory. So, wherever we chanting the names of Krishna, we should understand that that is the place where the Lord is, and that is the most auspicious place. In Adi Puran, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, "O Arjuna, I tell you the truth. He purchases me who makes my name dance on his tongue. He purchases me who calls out my name. There is no other price to purchase me. He purchases me who hears my name." Now what is interesting in this regard is Ravana, even though he was a demon, when he was killed, he also fell to the ground in front of Lord Ram, thinking of Lord Ram. So he was blessed. If one is killed in front of the Lord and one thinks of the Lord, one is blessed. What to talk about someone who sincerely chants the names of Krishna to develop a loving relationship with Krishna? So this is what we should try to follow. And by chanting the holy names, this is the most powerful way to overcome the demonic tendencies that are represented by Ravana, especially lust. We may have many anarthas, many material desires, many bad habits. We really don't need to worry about the anarthas. We really don't need to worry about the bad habits. What we really need to worry about is to take time to chant the holy names of the Lord daily, regularly, as much as possible. That should be our motive. That should be our challenge and our aim. If we do that, then simply by chanting the names of the Lord, through the holy names of the Lord, because the holy name is not different from Krishna, then the holy name will do everything. The holy name will bring all auspiciousness in your life. The holy name will transport and transform all your anarthas, purify all your anarthas into auspiciousness. You will see that practically. This process can be realized. You simply have to take the initiative, and you will see your own anarthas. You can make a list of all the anarthas, all the traits that Ravan represent. Try to see that. Make a list of that. Yes, I have that. And by taking to this process of chanting the holy names of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, then you will see how these anarthas slowly will become weaker and weaker, and eventually they will vanish. Each of the unwanted material desires, like lust, anger, greed, jealousy, envy, madness, illusion, all the different bad habits, they all have different intensities. And according to the intensities, it will take some time for them to be destroyed by the power of the holy name. But we should have firm faith that simply by chanting the holy names, like Valmiki, who was a sinner, a dacoit, but because of constant chanting of the holy name, he became the greatest, one of the greatest saints. Similarly, we also have many bad habits. It's okay. Simply by taking the holy name of Lord Ram, we can actually purify our life, perfect our life, and we can enter into the eternal kingdom of Ayodhya, where there is no war, where there is no pestilence, where there is no challenges, there is no plague, there is no epidemic. Everyone is centered around serving the Lord, and everyone is happy. Jai Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki Jai. So tomorrow we're going to be covering the exceptional qualities of Sita Devi. If there are any questions, please type them into the YouTube chat or into the WhatsApp group. I have 2 questions that I will address now. Why did Mother Sita ask Lord Ram to capture the golden deer? We understand that the deer was very attractive. Yes. So it's described that Mother Sita actually had a zoo in Ayodhya. She had a beautiful place where she kept animals freely in the in like a forest yard. And these were pets that she had. And when she saw this beautiful deer, then she thought, my Lord, this would be very nice to bring to Ayodhya, and in our forest-like environment. So this is how she asked the Lord. And the Lord decided, initially the Lord said, no, it's not what you see. It's a demon. But Sita Devi was insistent. So then the Lord said, okay. So we know that, in fact, we'll cover that tomorrow in terms of when Lakshman actually made a circle of protection. So we'll discuss that tomorrow. But yes, because it's, and remember, Sita, it's not like Sita Devi and them wanted to capture the deer for their sense gratification. But she wanted to take the deer to her forest. Haribol, did Indrajit possess the same qualities as Ravana, or did Ravana influence him as a father? So yes, remember, like father, like son. So because Ravana was naturally brought up Indrajit in the same way according to his qualities, naturally Indrajit unfortunately also had the same qualities of Ravana. That is why raising children is very important. As parents, it's described in Srimad Bhagavatam, parents are not, parents are truly parents if they can deliver the dependence from a cycle of birth and death. So we have to know as parents what is the truth and raise our children in a proper Krishna conscious way. We need to give our children Krishna consciousness, the proper direction. And naturally children look up to their parents. children will imitate and follow their parents. So if you're telling your children to chant and you're not chanting, then the children will not be encouraged. You have to show by example. So Indrajit, unfortunately, had the same traits of his father, and therefore he also was killed. So there's on the YouTube chat. Right. So please please forgive me for my ignorance. I have two questions. One is there different level of anger, or all anger arise from lust? Example, mother's anger towards her child. Yes, good question. So remember, just like Hanuman's anger, Hanuman was also angry, but Hanuman's anger was actually elevating for him. It wasn't binding. It wasn't a binding force. Why? Because Hanuman became angry against Ravana. That is why he burnt the whole of Lanka. And in fact, he wanted to kill Ravana. But he said, no, if I kill Ravana, it will be very bad for Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra needs to come himself, kill Ravana, and rescue his wife, Sita. So, but Hanuman was angry. So Hanuman's anger was on the path of devotional service, all auspicious, wonderful. But Ravan's anger was on the path of destruction, sinful, because it was not for the pleasure of Lord Ram. So the mother's anger, it's in one sense, if the mother wants to show anger because she wants to teach the child, then that is good anger in the sense that she wants to guide the child. So she has to exhibit some anger, right, to put the child on the proper path. But still, we have to understand what is the outcome of that anger. Is it for sense gratification, or is it for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna? Just like, let's say, if the mother makes some prasad and gives the child some prasad, and the child takes the prasad and throws it on the ground, then it behooves the mother to show some anger to the child that this is wrong. You shouldn't have done that. That it's not good. Right? So that anger is not for sense gratification. That anger is actually for directing the child in the proper way. And it's very, if one is conditioned in the modes of material nature, sometimes it's, in fact, many times very difficult to gauge, because you'll be influenced by the modes. We cannot use, in a name of this is anger for Krishna, be destructive. No. That's why Prabhupada said for children, we should show the stick but not use it. And in fact, Prabhupada also told one disciple that you can use one finger, right? And with that one finger, he spanked the child on the cheek, right? So one finger spanked the child. That means the child is not going to get bruised. You're not going to break the neck of the child. Just tap on the child. Don't do that. See? Or use the red stick. My mother had a red stick. Every time the red stick came out, I knew, oops, don't do that. Okay, but she never, never used the stick in that sense to beat us, bruise us. Okay, so that's a good question. So generally, anger in the material mode, in the material world, arises from the mode of passion. But the pure devotees, Prabhupada himself showed anger. And when Prabhupada would show anger, it would be, they could feel that force because of Prabhupada's purity. But it was simply for the service of Guru and Krishna. In fact, Prabhupada said, if the spiritual master becomes angry with you, you should be very happy, because it shows somebody is concerned. We find so many people in this world, nobody is concerned about them. They are suffering so badly. So at least we know somebody is concerned. Therefore, they're showing anger to bring us on the right path. Then the second question is another question. Lanka had Lord Ram's name all over. Then how was Lanka still destroyed? Yes, remember, it's not that if I write the name of the Lord on a piece of paper, it doesn't mean that that piece of paper is never going to get burnt. If the holy name wants to exhibit its independent, sweet will and power, then the holy name can. I know of devotees in different situations where the house was burning and there were pictures in the house, and practically all around, where the album was, and there were pictures in there, all around the house, that the furniture, everything was burned, but that album, the pictures in that album started to burn, but when it came to that form of the Lord, those pictures weren't burnt. So like that, the Lord can, remember, the Lord is Swarat, He is completely independent, and similarly the holy name is completely independent. The holy name can decide how to act, and if the holy name decides, just like this material world is the energy of the Lord, so the Lord can do whatever He wants with His energies. The holy name is not different from the Lord. Therefore, the holy name can act totally independent, to exist, not to exist. There was one devotee in Vrindavan. He would regularly write the names of Sri Radha on the sand in Vrindavan, on the soil. And one day when he wrote Sri Radha, he noticed some glitter, and he moved the sand and he found the deity of Srimati Radharani appears. So the holy name is totally independent, and therefore we find that the holy name will act and react according to the holy name's sweet independent will. Alright, so that's all the questions. Thank you very much. There's one more. Please answer the question posted yesterday. Yesterday, what? Okay, I'll read that question. I'll go to it, and then I'll answer that tomorrow in tomorrow's session. All right, thank you. We shall continue tomorrow on the exceptional qualities of Sita Devi. Hare Krishna, Sri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Go Pramanande.